Shalom. Pastor Hawk, coming back at you with the truth, giving all praises to Yahweh Shem Shai Shem Kodash. And I'm going to entitle this video. I really have two titles. The first title is Hell. The title that I'm going to use when you see the thumbnail is going to be, or is, as he's watching it right now, hell spilled onto the earth. Hell did spill onto the earth. So according to this first scripture, Deuteronomy 32, verse 22, that hell can come up. Well, I mean, it happens with volcanoes. So, so there is a there is a hell, but your soul doesn't go to that place. When you go into the middle of the earth, the core is fire, and they proved that, and that's proven by when volcanoes erupt. It's the hot fire that comes from the inside of the earth. But no one goes to that place. No one goes to the center of the earth and burns in hell. First of all, your body and your spirit, your body, your spirit is contained in a body on the earth. You have a spirit, you have a body in the spirit realm, which you can call the heavens. And then there's a body on the earth. And when you die, whether you get shot, you get hit by a car, get hit by a lightning bolt, somebody stab you up, you die of a sickness, your spirit separates from your body, and your spirit immediately goes before the Heavenly Father and Yahweh Shai, and you are told what you find out who you are. You find out, like Edomites that die, like these Edomites that die, especially the elite, illuminated ones, the elite of the elite, they already know who we are, they know who they are. And then when they go to the spirit world, they're given instructions, okay, this is the last time you're going to come on the earth. You're not going to rule anymore. You're not going to be rich. The next time you come on the earth, you will be a slave. You and your people. Not one Edomite is going to make it. I don't give a damn how many videos Elder Ricard makes of the GOCC. Anyway, the subject is on hell. This is a basic subject to some and a deep subject to others. So let's just go into it. What I did was I made it simple. I'm going to try not to go too long, but let's see where the Spirit leads me. All you got to do is go back to the scriptures. As a matter of fact, let me do this. Let me take, where the hell am I? Bear with me for a minute. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, here. Let me grab this so I can put it next to this right here. Where did I say I was going to go into? Hey, you know what? Let me just stay here for now. Anyway, it says Deuteronomy 32, verse 22. For a fire is kindled in my anger and shall burn unto the lowest hell and shall consume the earth with her increase. So you don't got to go to hell no more. Hell's going to come to you and set on fire the foundation of the mountains. Mountains also meaning governments. So now let's go to the word hell. like I said, this is basic to the ones of you that are out there, and it's deep to the ones of you that are new to this, you Christians. Because so many of you Christians are sneaking, you're window shopping. You got to sneak over and watch the next video that any of the Hebrews put together. Okay, so let me click on the word hell in the Old Testament. Wait a minute, did I pass it? Okay, the fire is kindled, and my anger shall burn unto the lowest hell. This is why you have to know some Hebrew and some Greek. And the word is sha'awal. It says grave, right? That's what it is. It's talking about grave. Something. That's why in Deuteronomy, what is that, 32, when it was talking about hell, it was talking about inside the earth. And there is a fire in the earth that souls do not go to. That's that RCC BS. But if you want to get deep, that whole concept of hell came from Greek mythology. A story, a myth that you can read about, or probably go on Google or go to YouTube, and a video will probably come up, is the account of this guy, Orpheus, and the woman that he was in love with, Persophones. So that's all I'm going to say on that. But it deals with hell. You know what I'm going to do? Let me try this. I don't want to go off the subject. I'm going to go to do this. Or Orpheus. Let's see if this is it. Okay, Orpheus. Orpheus is a legendary musician and prophet in ancient Greek religion. By the way, he was an Israelite, because the whole Greek Hellenistic culture came in part from the Japhetic people and Jake, because Jake was mingled among them, and they came up with these stories of these heroes. You had Zeus, you had Poseidon, and you had Hades, which was the brother of Zeus, which he was in charge of hell. And that's why in the Greek, they when you go to the New Testament in Greek, the word is Hades, and it's named after Hades, the brother of Zeus. See, people that call themselves Christians that believe in this fairy tale, old wives' tale, they don't realize that it came from Greek mythology. They don't realize that. Anyway, it says Orpheus is a legendary musician and prophet in ancient Greek religion. He was also a renowned poet, and according to the legend, traveled with Jason and the Argonauts in the search of the Golden Fleece, and even descended into the underworld of what? Hades, to recover his lost wife. It was actually Eurydice, or Eurydice. There's a movie titled Black Orpheus. It was a film put together in the 60s, early 60s, by a Brazilian filmmaker called Black Orpheus. You should watch it. It's on YouTube. So they took the Greek story of Orpheus and they remade it using Black Brazilian characters. So That's a little story right there. Okay, it says here, what is the story? Orpheus, I just read that. What did Orpheus do wrong? And I'm gonna tell you what he did wrong. When he went to get his wife, Eurydice, it's pronounced Eurydice, he wasn't supposed to look, he was supposed to play his instrument and she was supposed to follow out of hell. So you can bring, according to the Greeks, if somebody's in hell, you can go and bring them out of hell. So it said, what did Orpheus do wrong? I already know what he did wrong. He looked back and she fell back in hell. Let's see if I'm correct. Since his love was not true, he did not want to die for love. He was actually punished by the gods, first by giving him only the apparition of his former wife in the underworld, and then by being killed by a woman, because I believe it was a woman that he didn't love. He loved the woman that died. But when you get into the story, he played the instrument and she followed, and he was instructed not to look back or she would forever be cast in hell. So he had to look back because of her beauty, and she fell back into hell, which is a story. That Jake put that together. That's Jake all the way. Anyway, so let's come back here. The best description of the word hell, which is sha'awal, is grave or pit. Okay, it says sha'awal, the Old Testament designation for the abode of the dead. What do you do with the dead? You bury the dead. Place of no return, because that body doesn't come back unless, you know, the Lord, the Supreme, raises that body from the dead. Without praise of the Most High. Why? Because your body is separate, your spirit is separated from your body. Your body is just material that becomes a part of the earth all over again. Wicked sent there for punishment. That's not true. Because you're not punished when you're dead. You're punished when you come back in your next life. The righteous are abandoned, righteous not abandoned to it, of the place of exile, of extreme degradation and sin. They're going off. The best answers that we can pull out is grave, pit. Yeah, it means grave. It means grave. So how did you get this whole story of, if you die and you didn't accept the Lord Jesus, as Christians say, you will burn in hell for eternity. And it says ultimately the Most High is a merciful power. He's going to have mercy on everybody, including Edomites, because he's going to destroy them. He's going to cause us to destroy them. And we don't know whether they're going to come back among the nations or be another nation added to the table of nations, and they're going to be dark. You know, Yaquab and High Priest Yaquab and High Priest Ariel used to argue. They had two opposing views, because it doesn't say where they're going to come back. You can't destroy a spirit. Okay, so let me come back over here. Okay, let's go back to Deuteronomy 32, verse 22. For a fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. So The best way I can describe that is a volcano, because it comes from hell. It comes from the pit of the earth. Okay, this is a good one. I would like you, Christians, to explain this. 2 Samuel 22, verse 6. The sorrows of hell compass me about. The snares of death prevent me. This is a statement that King David made. Okay, it's entitled David's Psalm of Deliverance, which is this is a song. So what we want to focus on is the 6th verse. Now let's see if David's talking about an actual hell. His hell was Saul, King Saul. 2 Samuel 22, verse 1. And David spake unto Yahweh the words of this song. Psalms means song. So he played the string instrument, and he sung a song. And the day that Yahweh had delivered him out of the hand of all his enemies and out of the hand of Saul. So he was fighting against the Philistines. He was also fighting against Saul, which they were supposed to be on the same team. And we read on. And he said, Yahweh is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. So we're looking to be delivered by the Lord and the angels. The power of my rock, in him will I trust through the scriptures. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation. My high tower and my refuge, my savior, thou saveth me from violence. I will call on Yahweh, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies. There it goes again. When the waves of death compassed me, the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. So did David get afraid at times? You got damn right he got afraid. He was a man, a human. Let me read that again. When the waves of death compassed me, the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. It said, the sorrows of hell compassed me about, the snares of death prevented me. So we know, based upon the 5th verse and the 6th verse, when the waves of death compassed me, the floods of ungodly men made me afraid, because he was fighting against the Philistines 1 minute, and then the next, because there was continuous war with the Philistine, but at the same time, he was fighting the fellow Israelite, which was a king, which was looking to kill him. So when he said the sorrows of hell, he wasn't talking about some place that, oh, if I die, I'm going to go right to hell. But how can he go to hell when he was praising the Lord? When he said, the 3rd verse, the power of my rock, and in him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation. So why would he be afraid of an actual hell on the ground that you burn forever? It's not scriptural at all. Let me read a couple more. Okay, Job 11:8. It is high as heaven. What canst thou do? Deeper than hell. What canst thou know? That was parabolic. Right. Hell is naked before him, and destruction hath no covering. And that word hell, if you click on it, is the word sha'awah, which means the grave. But these men of the Lord use the word in a symbolic form. That's why David said what he said. The sorrows of hell compass me about, and the snares of death prevented me. So what did he say from the first verse? He was talking about Saul. He was talking about men coming to get him, and that he was afraid at times. So you know what? King David couldn't be a part of the ISUPK because he got cowardly a couple of times. He became a little bit of a coward. You know, he was afraid. So if David knocked on the door of the ISUPK when they would have one of their classes, he said, "Oh, how you doing? I'm King David. Can I be a part of the ISUPK?" And they'll pull out that scripture and they say, "No, because you're a goddamn coward, man. You a coward." And guess what? Elijah couldn't be a part of the ISUPK because wasn't he afraid for his life from Jezebel? So he couldn't be in the ISUPK. The Lord ran. They were looking to kill him, and he went through the crowd and he got away from them. He couldn't be. Yahushua couldn't be. They look, you Yahushua, nigga, you can't be in the ISUPK because you showed a cowardly act. Okay, right here. So I'm gonna read this last one. Then I'm gonna go to. I may read a couple more. Then I'm gonna go to the New Testament. Psalms 9, verse 17. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. Now, when you click on the word hell, the word there is sha'awal, which means underworld, grave, pit. So what does it mean by nations going to hell? That means they're gonna be destroyed. Their system will be destroyed. Their system will suffer death, like Babylon the Great, America. America is basically in a hospice. Let's look up the word hospice. 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 What does it mean to go to hospice? Hospice care is a special kind of care that focuses on the quality of life for people and their caregivers who are experiencing an advanced life-limiting illness. America is suffering a life-limiting illness. Hospice care provides compassionate care for the people in the last phases of incurable diseases so that they may live as fully and comfortably as possible. So you're going to die. The doctor said, well, you have 6 months to live. So what they'll do is they'll put you in hospice and they'll take care of you, give you painkillers, and then eventually you go. That's America. America's in a hospice. The hell is this?
You ever wondered what actors and actresses?
Anyway, let's come back. Let's come back. Let's go to Psalm 55, verse 15. Let death seize upon me, upon them, and let them go down quickly into hell, for wickedness is in their dwellings and among them. So this is the psalmist praying that they go to hell, meaning praying that they fall as a system. Let's come back to Psalms 9, verse 17. The wicked shall be turned into hell, meaning destruction. So is Babylon the Great going to be turned into hell? Yeah, it tells you in the book of Revelation that it's going to be a lake of fire. And all the nations, because the Most High sets up nations over other nations. You're not going to have a handful of Edomites that's going to receive the blessings of Israel in our coming kingdom. That don't make no damn sense. So the word hell, that means grave, but it's in parabolic form. It means destruction, the downfall of something. Oh, according to Psalms 139, verse 8, the Lord is in hell. He's in the lowest parts of hell. So why, when they make the movies about hell, why is the most high down there in the movie? Psalms 139, verse 8, if I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. Proverbs 7, verse 27. Her house is the way of hell, going down to the chambers of death. Let me come back. Okay. Let me try it again. And let me come up some in Proverbs 7, verse 27, right? I'm not going to read the whole account. Well, this is nice and long. Okay, Proverbs, we'll start at, really got to read the whole chapter. I'm going to start at the 12th verse. Now is she without, now let me do this. She is loud and stubborn, her feet abide not in her house. We know who that's talking about. But this is actually talking about a philosophy, Islam, Christianity, just to name two. Now she was out now in the streets and lieth in wait at every corner. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impotent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows. Therefore came I forth to meet thee diligently to seek thy face, and I have found thee. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. So this is a woman luring a man into an adulterous act. But what it really means is it's talking about a philosophy. That's why in Christianity is losing so many members that pretty much they have to get singers. They got to do the rap thing, Christian rap, Christian battle rap. They have to take things from the world and they have to bring it in. They have to put a Christian stamp on it. Because if they just taught the scriptures, you wouldn't have nobody in the church. And that's why they're losing members. See, this whole Israelite thing is messing up their business, because it's all about money at the end of the day. And when you do, they'll have conferences. You know, come to this conference, it's $100. And then when you get there, they're selling you shit. They're selling you books. They're selling you, music, CDs or whatever they sell you. And they're always pushing, watch vocab. He pushes books all the time. And you can get this book right here written by so-and-so and such, or you can get that book right there. He'll bring out fucking 5 books. And then they have another 5 books or 10 books behind it, man. That's all, it's all a money-making thing with these people, man. The scriptures say, buy the truth and sell it not. Not set up a conference and say, oh, you got to pay $150 as a 3-day conference. And then when you go there, you got to pay for your hotel. You got to pay for your own food. And then they're trying to sell you shit. That's what this woman is right here in Proverbs 7:17. I perfume my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Can you imagine dealing with a woman that her bed is perfumed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon? That's gonna get you up for the task. Come, let us take our, you go to certain women houses, they either smell like nothing, or you might smell the Lysol in the air, or it might smell like a damn, it might smell like hell. And then they wonder why you couldn't perform. Because the whole atmosphere is all fucked up. You got a damn, a ripped teddy with ketchup stains on that shit. Ain't no man gonna get turned on by that. It says, come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with love. This is talking about these philosophies, these religions, Kemet, RCC, Moors. For the good man is not at home, he is going a long journey. Now we know that's talking about adultery. Because there's a physical fornication and there's a spiritual fornication. He hath taken a bag of money with him and will come home at the day appointed. With her much fair she, with her much fair speech, with her much fair speech, what should come to mind? Recently, we've been getting on this guy, Elder Riccardi, GOCC. He speaks a certain way. So he's a good speaker. Romans 16, verse 17. With her, or the philosophies, much fair speech, she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him. He goeth after her straightway. Like I said, this is talking about a philosophy, even among Israel. You got somebody teaching that Edomites can make it, and hell is an actual place that you're gonna burn in forever, and there's no such thing as reincarnation. That's not the truth. As an ox goeth to the slaughter, because it's gonna lead you to death, or as a fool. And see, you know what? Years ago, we're talking about what, 10 years ago, he had a thing we call a flea doctrine, and we got to go back to Egypt. We got to go back to we got to get out of Babylon, so forth and so on. And people, and a lot of women did it too. They listened, they blindly listened. They didn't check the scriptures, because the scriptures say the Lord's going to bring you back to the promised land. So they went out there, and he was never there, and they got abandoned out there, and they ran out of money. They had to get jobs, and they had to work their way back to America. And guess what? They're not going to follow this guy no more. And then he put a bad name on Israel as a whole. I'm not going to join them Israelite school. There's one school. Well, that's not us. 22nd verse. He goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks. And I believe that's where you get the stock market from. Because you had auctioning blocks down there. And they would put Jake in the stock and they could get the next nigga. They take the stock off. Look up the word stock. And they will put you on the auction block and sell you. But they're not going to go into slavery if they accept Christ. Give me a fucking break. It says, till a dart strike through his liver as a bird hasteth to the snare and knoweth not that it is for his life. I mean, you're going to be put to death. So these people following Tazadakia, you know, they're lost. They're lost. If the Lord, the Most High, don't have mercy on those people, they're all going to take the MOTB and they're going to die. Because once you take it, you can't pull it back out. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. And that's what we're saying. Let not thine heart decline to her ways, these other philosophies, go not astray in her path, for she have cast down many wounded, many strong men have been slain by her. And that's talking about these philosophies. Her house is the way to hell or the grave, death, going down to the chambers of death. So let's come back. Now let's go to the New Testament. You know what? I got maybe a couple more. Okay, you know what? Habakkuk 2, verse 5. Now listen to this. Oh, another good one. Jonah 2, verse 2. It says, and said, I cried by reason of my affliction unto Yahweh, and he heard me out of the belly of hell. Now, where was he actually in? He was in the belly of the fish. Cried I, and thou heardest my voice. So the Most High had mercy on Jonah, but he said he was in hell. Now, if you click on that, or if you click on it, the word there is sha'awah, which means the grave. So was he in an actual grave in a coffin? No. He was in a coffin-like situation, meaning he was closed in a well's in a system, digestive system or whatever, and the most High delivered him. Okay, this is another good one. Habakkuk 2, verse 5. Yeah, also, because it's talking about Esau. He transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man. That's how we know it's Esau. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee. Thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock. So this is talking about Esau. Neither keepeth at home. Esau goes everywhere, man, with his armies, with his missionaries at one time, and then his armies, who enlarges his desire as hell. So where did Esau bring hell with him? And is as death. What followed behind the word hell? Death, because hell is the grave. When somebody dies, you put them in a coffin and you put them in a grave, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations. Babylon is a great melting pot, right? And heapeth unto him all people. One world order. When you go to First Maccabees 1, you read that whole chapter. It tells you that Antiochus Epiphanes wanted all people to become under one order. And you can't, there was no so-called freedom of religion. You had to do what he told you to do. And which goes hand in hand with the MOTB, because they're going to do something when they bring they're pulling back the this whole Crown Vic Royale thing because too many people are, bucking up against it, giving them pushback. So now they have to get in their think tanks and they're going to have to talk about how they're going to present the MOTB. And they already know the percentage of them that's willing to take it compared to the percentage of them that's not willing to take it. You're going to have a lot of Edomites, not Jake, because Jake don't know what the hell's going on. The children of this world are wiser than the children of light in their generation. Esau is going to be the first to say, I ain't taking the MOTB. You Jakes don't know what the fuck's going on. That's why a lot of you are going to take it. Matthew 5 verse 20. That's a little long one, but it says hell, Raka, shall danger the council, whosoever shall without food shall be in danger of hellfire. Oh no, you know what? Let me deal with this. Hellfire. Because certainly that's talking about hell, because it says hellfire. So let's see what that means. Let's look up fire first.
Strong's G 4442. Poor.
Which simply means fire. So let's go to hell. There's a different word. Gehenna. Okay, it says hell is a place of future punishment called Gehenna or Gehenna of fire. This was originally the valley of Hinnom, south of Jerusalem, where the filth and dead animals of the city were cast out and burned at a fit symbol of the wicked and their future destruction. So Gehenna has nothing to do with you burning hell. Gehenna was a garbage dump that goes back to Hinnom. So this is not talking about burning in hell, your soul burning in hell. So let's go to Matthew 5. I'm sorry. Click one back, go back once again. Okay, this is a great one. Because can a city be cast into hell? It says, and thou Capernaum, which are exalted unto heaven. Was that Elysium, the movie Elysium? They had the super rich living on a space station up in space. That's Capernaum? No, Capernaum was an actual city that people walked through and shopped, and they were known for their riches. Shall be brought down to hell, meaning destruction. For if the mighty works which have been done in thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. So you can go into the whole backstory of Capernaum. So Capernaum being cast and being exalted to heaven, there wasn't up in that. Capernaum was not a city in the sky. It was on the earth. You can walk through Capernaum. So what does hell mean? It just means, when a city's dead, they call it what? A ghost town. Ghost town. The only things that's in that city is ghosts. No living, nobody comes to that town. There it goes again. Luke 10, verse 15. And thou, Capernaum, which art exalted to heaven, shall be thrust down to hell. So if the Christians, if these wacky tacky Christians tell you that hell is an actual place that you burn in underground, where all souls go to, does Capernaum have a soul? It's a city with buildings. But then if besides that, ask a Christian, what does it mean by Capernaum being exalted into heaven? So it was up there with the Heavenly Father, Capernaum. Let me go to this one here, and I'll close it. Revelation 20, verse 14. You know what? Let me go up, maybe a verse or two up. Well, it says 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High, and the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things that were written in the book in the books according to their works. So you got the righteous in the spiritual realm, you got the wicked in hell. They're burning, they're being punished. Some have been burning for 500 years. Some have just started burning within a year, and the Most High gonna bring them out of hell to judge them, to throw them back into hell. It says, and the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged, and every man according to their works. But wait a minute, in order for you to go to hell in the first place, you have to be judged. So this is all parabolic of everybody that was on the earth that died, came back, you're gonna be judged the final time. If you're an Edomite, your future is captivity. Revelation 20, verse 14, and death and hell cast out, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. So you got Christians that say, oh, you're going to be cast into the lake of fire, which is hell. But wait a minute, how can you cast hell into hell? This is the second death. You can ask them, what is the second death? And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. And that lake of fire is referring to Babylon the Great, America. Anyway, like I said, this is a basic lesson to a lot of you, and to the ones of you that have been in this truth for a number of years. This is basics to you, but to the newer ones of you, the ones that are slowly stepping out of that damn Christianity, you got to learn these things in order to know it for yourself. The scriptures say, eat the roll. And then you got to know how to deal with a Christian if you're talking to a Christian. Because you Christians are losing big time. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.